these are Nigerians posting on X as opposed to maybe on the news. We have somehow we have somehow amplified our words a lot of times through the social media, right? At different instances, and I don't want to go on to call anyone particularly. And it's been respected by the international communities. We've seen them basically respond within a short time frame in support or in condemnation of certain actions that go against a certain demography. So it's just similar way. I feel like that's where we are in the world right now. The social media is a very powerful medium, and it's somehow superseding even a lot of outlets that we have.
Quite true, quite true. Okay.
And also to add to that, it is not just about reporting the news.
Okay.
Now, reporting the news is fine. We are not trying to encourage maybe telling lies or saying things that are not, or not reporting. But the kind of image that we portray, most times you would see the average Nigeria. If we take out a survey now, maybe the three of us will step out, interview 10 Nigerians, just 10 average Nigerians, tell me something about Nigeria. Believe me, all you will hear are mostly negative things about Nigeria. You see, and honestly, I would not blame them. However, because maybe the things they are going through, and they are right to feel the way they feel. But however, that is not the best.
Okay.
That is not the best. We can intentionally decide that we begin to confess positively about the nation. There are good things happening in the nation, but no one is pushing those news. No, because we just want to vent our anger, we just want to express our emotions, which is not wrong. But having to do that all of the time is a waste of emotions. The same energy it takes to talk down on the nation is the same energy it takes to talk good about the nation and increase the chances of the nation becoming better. You see, so this is very, very deep, and if we have time, we'll talk more about it. Cassandra, please go ahead.
All right. I'm really just wondering what's going on in the minds of Nigerians who are listening to us. But it's good that you admit that, when they speak ill about Nigeria, it's not just coming from a place of they want to speak, but it's because of some of the issues that are there. Even though we've talked about this in the past, that patriotism is it's an emotional thing. Okay, now let's look at the impact of positive speech. Even though we don't have much time, if we could just breeze through it, and then we move to how to speak positively about the country.
So okay, come on, go on.
Okay.
Okay, all right. So one of the things I would like to say is that that thing you said about the dog, the name you give to the dog is what it is. Someone else can't call it what you did not call it.
Yeah.
So that is the same thing as shaping national identity and perception, right? What we as a body, what we as a nation, what we as a family call the nation, call our community, is what other people will call it. You see, if we insist that Nigeria is a good nation, is a great nation, and you see, one powerful thing about this speech thing is that, like I told you, speech forms the mentality, speech forms the mindset. So when we begin to speak good about the nation, that gospel begins to pass across all platforms. And the more people that interact with it, the more Nigerians that interact with it, it does something to their mindset. It does something to their paradigm. It begins to shift. And you see them gradually, they begin to act in line with that prevalent information that they see. Most of the time, you see how the country is. Go on social media, go on all platforms. Most of the things you are seeing are negative. So when we begin to interact with these informations, over time, we begin to behave in line with what we are reading and seeing. You can't behave past your belief system. You can't behave past your mindset. You see. So when we begin to speak good about the nation, the perception, the ideologies outside us, and even we who are within the nation have about the nation will be what we have said about it. So if we as a family, if we as a body, if Eagles FM as an organization say this is what we are, just like motors and motors of companies and all of
Yeah.
that. So the company is who defines what they are, and other people key into that. You see that? So that is what it means. It shapes national identity and perception, both for outsiders and indigenes of the country.
Okay.
Yes.
Mr. Kamal.
Yeah, so one of the things that it does actually is that it encourages problem solving mindset.
Okay.
Because, in all honesty, when we when we focus a lot on spelling out the problems, it does us no good at all. We don't even have any idea on the path we should tread to solve a problem. And we keep on lamenting and lamenting, and it affects us emotionally. We feel already downsided. We don't even have a sense of direction about where we should go from here. Everybody just keeps on contributing to the lamentations. And yeah, at the end of the day, it demoralizes us, right? We aren't as more, we don't have the morale to actually go on.
Yes.
But when we talk about solving the problems, right? When we find solutions, and that's why I loved something you said, that it's not even about reporting the challenges most of the times. It's about, for me, I feel like it's about constructive criticism.
Okay.
Right? We criticize and then prefer a solution. We criticize and prefer a solution. And sometimes the solutions aren't even far away from us. It's not the government to do.
Okay.
A lot of people just fold hands and say, a tree fell off on the road and it blocked the road. A lot of people could not enter. Can you imagine this government? For the large majority of the time, this tree have been there and they have not come to do anything yet. I mean, is it beyond us to be able to do that? I've seen drainages filled up and it's causing like flooding around an area. How about cooperating with one another? I think one place where we have faltered as a nation or as individuals, citizens of this nation, is the fact that we do not inculcate volunteerism spirit.
Okay.
Even the most advanced of countries, one major reasons why they develop is because they volunteer. They don't wait for the government to come and do the things that they ought to do. Lastly, lastly, if we volunteered, right, if we did these things all on our own, if you go out and ask Nigerians now, you've complained about this for the longest of time, what have you done? Because there's a famous quote about not what the country, I think that's from JF Kennedy, right? Patriotism is not about what the country can do for you,
but what you can do for the
and
country.
but what you can do for the country. And if you hear the definition of government, it's for the people, by the people, and sorry, my definition is not complete.
For the people.
Right? Yeah. And so basically, when you see all of that, you will agree with a comment I've been making over time that there is no way a system will work without each member of the system paying adequate responsibility to their roles and responsibility. So as a citizen too, you have your roles and responsibility, and your roles and responsibility also spans into some of these things that we see, right? You taking a step forward to protect, to secure, and all of that. So what am I saying in essence? You go out there, take basically a survey of what Nigerians have done to their nations, to their community, and you'll be shocked. You'll be amazed. Not a lot of people have that problem-solving mentality. Until we are able to change it, then we will forge further or forward. That's it.
Okay.
Okay, maybe let me give two more before
go
we.
on.
So one of the things that this thing does is it attracts opportunity and investments from outsiders. So whatever we say about the nation, whatever we portray, the identity and the perception we portray about the nation is what determines if other nations will want to work with us, other individuals will want to work with us. If we as a nation keep saying bad things, wrong things about about the nation, not highlighting the wonderful things and the beauty in our nation, the people wouldn't be willing to invest. You see that? So that is one. Two is it inspires the next generation. How do I say this now? The next generation that is coming up, right? They will always buy into, they will always inherit the mindset of the older generation. If the generation that is coming up, when they come into the system, when they come into the country, and all they see every day is elderly people talking bad, talking down, you would see people. You were saying that one thing wrong with Nigerians and our brothers and sisters is they don't have the spirit of this volunteerism. Yes.
Yeah.
Now, I'll tell you that there is one area where we volunteer a lot. If you hear someone speaking bad about the nation, believe me, just give it 1, 2, 3 minutes. You will see other people who would want to join. Now, and I say this with all due respect, you see, but we have to be intentional about what happens to the nation and what we are portraying. We have to be intentional. What we do most times as a nation is simply that we react. We don't respond. We react to what is happening.
Sorry to interject. Do you
Yes.
know it's that bad that a lot of people even bring fake stories into the threads to
Of
portray
course.
the country negatively?
Of course, but that is not the best, because we have our own role to play to see to it that the nation is better, that the nation is what we want it to be. But unfortunately, some of the people, with all due respect, now have given up and are interested in just saying bad about the nation. But the truth still remains that we are all inside that same nation. Whatever the nation becomes, we will reap the fruits of it. You see, so like I was saying, it inspires the next generation. Whatever the next generation comes to meet us doing, they will follow suit. Whatever the next generation comes to see us doing, they will follow suit. We call this thing patterns. Even in families, in all aspects, the same thing happens as a country, as a nation. If what we portray to the nation coming is that, to the generation coming is that Nigeria is just a place of hardship, it's just a place of struggle, it would be the same for them. Because let me tell you, how this thing works is, however the mind of a person is, that is what is responsible for the results they have. If you have a mindset that the nation which you find yourself in is a disadvantage, you would never operate as somebody who has an advantage.
Okay.
And you would never make correct decisions to help you have a better future. You see, just like being raised in a background where the people in that place, they don't believe that they can do anything great, or they don't believe that they can have a happy home or a happy family and all of that. You would always notice that in those kinds of place, the kinds of words those people speak, the kinds of things they say, the kinds of conversations they have amongst themselves, you hardly hear any positive conversations. You see, so it just continues like that, and you begin to see that a particular lineage, a particular family, that there is a pattern in their family. They are always not doing so well. If you go back and trace their background, you would see that it started from somewhere. So we inspire the next generation. They will always inherit the same mindset we have, except something or somebody comes in, just like we are bringing this gospel now of positive speaking over the nation.
Okay.
If it is lauded more and more, then the mindset of the people begin to change gradually. We begin to change how we speak about our nation, and you see that the generation coming next will inherit a healthier respect and love and communication pattern about the nation.
All right.
Yes.
Wow. I must say it's been so much. And I think obviously it's not just about what we do physically, but the words we speak and even write about the country will go a long way to inspire progress, attract opportunities, and also bring about that nation that we dream for. I really wish we would have continued this conversation, but obviously our time is fast spent. So I would just say on a concluding note, if you could just give us your conclusion, and then he'll do his, and then we'll have to
All
go.
right. So simply put, we all know that patriotism is an emotional tie,
Okay.
and it basically goes both ways. What the government gives and how the basically citizens initialize it. However, we also should realize that what we house within is what will reflect outside, and we have the power to actually start up what will build our nation to have that environment that is full of positivity and full of light. From smaller circles, we can create bigger ones, rings of light and positivity.
Okay. All right.
All right. Patriotism is a choice. Nobody is born patriotic. Patriotism is a choice.
Okay.
And if you see a people who are patriotic, you would see a nation that is prospering. When the people insist that they will be patriotic, over time, you would see the nation begins to prosper. If we begin to sow seeds of positivity, we begin to sow seeds of patriotism, all you need to do is give it time. Gradually, the nation begins to transform into a better version of itself.
Okay.
But if we keep sowing seeds of discord, seeds of negativity, in the next 10 years, we will be worse than we are. It is just like that. It is a law. Whatever you sow, that is what you reap.
All right.
If we sow good into the nation, we reap good. If we sow bad into the nation, over time, we will reap bad. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much, Mr. Kamal and Mr. Innocent, for coming once again to talk to Nigerians on the national core values and how we can build Nigeria as Nigerians. Thank you very much.
Thank you so
Always a
much,
pleasure.
Cassandra.
All right, now it's obvious that the power of words in nation building is undeniable, and it's left for us to remember that every conversation, every opinion shared has the potential of contributing to the nation we want to build. A nation founded on unity, progress, and a shared vision for the future. Thank you for always listening to Eagles 102.3 from Abuja, your radio experience you can always count on. Please join us again, same time, same station, for another episode of the show. Thank you very much and keep listening.
Nothing but feel-good tunes to get you home after work.